Good afternoon, good morning, Sat Sri Akal, Adab. Here I am, Parul ki baat with Kiske Saath. Yes, I'll say the name later, but before I start, as you all know, a big welcome to each one of you. And you know that when I started this YouTube channel, Parul M, and these, wonderful talks, only aim was, can I inspire each one of you who's watching there? Can I share the lovely stories of these wonderful women, men out here? And can we really listen to these real things and not have those excuses and say, "Arey yaar, unki baat aur hai, wo to kar sakte hain, I can't." So today, again, another wonderful guest out here. And before I start, a big salute to this wonderful lady. As you can see her name right there, Squadron Leader Dilshad Master. Welcome Dilshad to the show Parul ki baat Dilshad ke saath.
Thank you very much, Parul. It's a pleasure being here, and equally, I guess, warm welcome to you too. And thanks for having me.
Awesome. And I must say, I admire that I've just written Parul out there and there written Squadron Leader Dilshad Master. So it's just admirable. And I can't tell you how much I respect, women or men, but anybody who's in forces, because a big salute to you, the way you guys serve the country. So thank you so much for that too.
Thank you.
All right. Also, so before I start, I have a small intro about her, which of course we like to hear from her, but still, just for my viewers, just to know who is she and what does she do. Squadron Leader Dilshad Master is an Indian Air Force veteran. In her second innings, she's found her ikigai in championing the cause of the LGBTQ plus community. And as you will say it, what is that? Q for?
It's Queer Sensitization Catalyst.
Awesome. Lovely name. And you will surely have to explain it why you kept this name. Yeah, because like I said, yes, I'll tell that. She writes, speaks, trains and counsels on diversity, equity and inclusion with a special focus on the queer community. It's like Czechoslovakia. I told you I can't speak it. Yes. So why don't we start with that? So welcome to the show, Dilshad. And
thank you.
Why don't you tell me about the word I can't pronounce, but you can pronounce it so beautifully? Why did you keep this name and what is this all about? Over to you.
Right. The entire journey into the queer community and into championing the cause of the queer, becoming a voice of the queer, happened quite by accident. Okay. I landed a job in a digital marketing firm when I came to Bangalore. And one of their verticals was a not-for-profit magazine for the LGBTQ community. Okay. Until then, all I was aware of is that I am an ally from a distance, as they say. So I'm okay with anybody living their life the way they are. I was absolutely fine with that. Right. I had no problem with anybody from the community, but I had no knowledge about it beyond that. Right. So once I came to work for that magazine, that's when a lot of sort of दिमाग की बत्तियां जल गई और काफी सारा जानने को मिला, काफी लोग मिले, काफी लोगों से बात हुई, काफी माँ बाप से बात हुई जिनके बच्चे those who are queer, those who belong to the community. Some had been estranged from their parents, some parents had disowned their children, some siblings I got to speak to. So a lot of pain emerged through almost every story that I heard. Pain that not just the society thrusts upon you, but your own loved ones, people that you expect will stand by you, people you expect will love you despite anything and everything in life. Those are the people that hurt the most, So when they say things like, I don't know, tum mujhe hi kyun paida hue, and why are you my child, and isse acha to you should not have been there. I mean, things like that. That's when I realized this is one community where even its most near and dear ones are not with them. And that's why I decided, or rather, karwa banta gaya, aisa tha. So one thing led to another, and before I knew it, I was advocating for the community. I became a voice for the community. Of course, then I went on to educate myself about what it is. Right. And the reason I call myself Sensitization Catalyst is because I don't exactly work within the community, but I work for the community on the outside.
Very
So
nice.
the way I see it, it's this community is discriminated against.
Hmm.
But working with the community is one thing, but until and unless the outside of the community is sensitized towards who they are, why they are the way they are, all of that, no matter how much we do for the community, ultimately they have to live within society, right? So society is the one that needs the sensitization, not people from the community. And that's how this name came about. So I became a catalyst, a sensitization catalyst for the queer community. And that's the way it just got framed.
Wow. And I love the word what you have used there, catalyst, right? Because this is such a word which empowers other person too, right? It's not just about you telling them what should they do. You should, they should do this or they should get visibility like that. No, you're a catalyst to realize them and make them help themselves by, number one, understanding that even if things are not the way world perceives it to be, they got to have their self-esteem and self-worth the way they must have it for themselves, because they are also wonderful human beings and people on earth, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So exactly what you said. So a catalyst in a chemical reaction is an element which does not change its makeup, but accelerates the rate at which the experiment is happening.
Right.
And it actually, how should I put it? Not only accelerates the rate of kabhi kabar catalyst ki wajah se the experiment takes place successfully. So that's the reason why catalyst, because without changing your form, you actually help something happen. So that's how the word.
Beautiful. And I can really relate to it, Dilshad, because I being a coach and a counselor myself for 20 plus years, the whole idea, I've been working a lot with women entrepreneurs like you are passionate about this cause, because I, while working with them, analyze that and see that they have everything. Sometimes they are financially free also, but still there's something missing. Why? Because they are not taught how to help themselves. Either they'll be spoon fed, or they'll be told, do this, don't do this. So, they don't have sometime that thought process that, it's all within me. And if I unleash that thing, whatever is suppressing me, can. So amazing. I mean, amazing job you're doing. So big round of applause really from, because from me, because I have been working with various other sections, and I know that when you work with some cause which is not very much accepted still, how a person, and as you beautifully said कि बाहर के लोगों को तो छोड़ो, आपके अपने जो कि एकदम your first level of relationships are there, that only don't accept you, then how do you survive, right? So it's a beautiful work what you're doing. And I'm sure with that, I want to know a bit about you, Dilshad, because I'm very sure one is what you're doing for them, but in that process, I am sure there's something churning in you. So what is Dilshad becoming, and who was Dilshad before this? Let's know more.
Okay. So I was very determined to lead a life in uniform right from the very beginning, and that's been a dream, that's been a passion. Unlike most people who say that we just got in by accident, we just wrote an exam, just went for the SSB because friends did it, and then that's how we got through. And like that, in my case, I was very clear that I wanted to join the army. The only deviation that happened is when I army or Air Force dono ka form bhara tha. I got through the Air Force first, so that's how I got into the Air Force.
Amazing.
But nonetheless, I realized my childhood dream of having a life in uniform. Post which I was not exactly sure what direction my life wanted to take, because I didn't want a 9-to-5 job. I didn't want your typical corporate billa tang ke chale gaye subah aur shaam ko aa gaye. I didn't want
I like
that.
the word you said, billa tang ke. Billa tang ke is a good word, right? All right, please continue. Yeah.
So then that's when I decided to play to my strengths, because qualification wise, I did a graduation in commerce, post-graduation in defense studies. So I was, education-wise, I was all over the place. There was no one particular line that I could pursue. So I decided to play to my strengths, and my strengths lie in writing, audio content work, and training.
Fantastic.
So I trained myself in all these three, and then so became a certified corporate trainer, became an RJ and a voiceover artist. I did a course in creative writing. I started off as a content creator and a trainer.
Jai ho, kya choda hai aapne? What have you left? Okay, continue, please. Amazing,
So,
amazing.
I started off doing that, and then because of the content work, I got a job as initially a content intern and then a content manager in this digital marketing firm. And like I said, the rest, as they say, is history. One of the verticals of that firm was this magazine for the LGBTQ community, and that completely changed the direction of my life. And once I set off on that path, it only kept getting clearer. The more stories I heard, the more people I met, the more ignorance I saw around me, the stronger was my will to dispel this ignorance. The stronger was my intent to bring about some change,
Very nice.
If I could do it with a life in uniform, that was a unique path. This was as unique, like
very
it
nice.
just, it was not planned, it happened, but I'm so glad it happened, and I'm very determined once again.
Awesome, very nice. So let me just ask you one more question, which is coming in my mind just just now, that when you were in Air Force, right, and now what you do, right? Forget the kind of work what you're doing, whatever it is, that this work or that time you were in job, but what is the common thing as a woman? What is the common thing you are seeing that the challenges were there, both sides, and how did you overcome it, Dilshad?
Okay, so one of the commonalities, this is something I always keep saying, that diversity was taught to me. One, when you're born an Indian, you're automatically in a diverse land, right? India is one of the countries which is the most diverse country in the world.
Right.
Every 100 kilometers, we have a different language, a different clothing, different cuisine, different dialect, everything. So we are by default born into a diverse country. Secondly, my choice of career was something very different. Even today, people say, oh, but there are not many women, right, in the armed forces, which is actually a myth nowadays, considering that we are almost 30% there. It's just a matter of time, we'll be 50-50. So, again, born into a diverse profession, because here again, it's not just about men and women, but also the armed forces, you have citizens from every corner of the country. So you could be leading men who are diametrically opposite. I mean, geographically completely different from who you are. They speak a different tongue, they eat different food, all of that, and yet you work together, you work shoulder to shoulder. So there again, diversity. And then currently in what I do, it's a different kind of diversity, but I guess diversity has been ingrained into all of us from the very beginning.
Wow, very nice.
It's whether it's the armed forces or the work I do today, I think that's been largely the foundation on which I have worked. Just like women before me fought for diversity, for bringing in women into the armed forces. Similarly, today I fight for bringing in the queer community into the workplace, integrating them into society. It's the same fight for a different section of society. That's all.
Wow, very nice. And I love the word again and again and again. You're saying diversity. And I think if I reflect back again as a coach and an emotional, well-being coach, I feel this is one thing I keep telling my clients also. Diversity is a change actually in life, and it broadens your sphere. And how comfortable am I to accept change, whether it is outside or whether it is inside, right? So what you're doing right now, and I'm sure, because I'm a firm believer, whatever you are doing outside is absolutely a reflection of what you do inside, isn't it? Because if you are comfortable with that diversity, if you're comfortable with that change or a different variety of things which might not, you can't put them in sections, they are like way apart. And still you come to a common cause and you're comfortable with that is what you become, right, in the process, right, Dilshad?
Absolutely. It has to begin here, and only then it can translate externally.
Absolutely.
If it's doesn't come from within, no amount of words will suffice.
Right. And just to sum up what you just now said, I feel, and I'm telling to my viewers, that this is exactly, I mean, something what she's working on, something anybody else is working on. But trust me, it cannot be successful, or you cannot be successful in your own definition till till you're not convinced about who you are, why you're doing what you're doing. And if you don't have your own self-esteem and self-love and self-worth and self-approval, how will you convey this message to other people that they must have their self-esteem, self-worth, self-approval, right? So amazing, Dilshad. I can keep talking to you, but we will just keep time in mind, because we will surely come back for that. But amazing what I get from you. One word is being comfortable in diversity. Second, just dil se kuch agar man kiya to you just do it, because you don't know where 1+1+1+2 will lead you somewhere, and that can be the calling of your life, right? And
totally.
I can see that glow on your face, that you're really enjoying what you're doing, isn't it, Dilshad?
Absolutely. I love it. And like I said, it has to come from within. If it comes from within, it'll automatically show on the outside. So,
I know,
yeah.
I know. So before we wind up, just one message, because, as I also work a lot with women for past 20 plus years, so many times I hear it when they start the sessions, when I tell them that, yo wo dekho kar paya, ya usne kiya, ya falana aapki koi friend hogi jo ki, she's reached somewhere. Normally the thing is, arey yaar, unki to life was very cool, so maybe they did it right. That's how it must be.
Right.
I have so many problems. मेरा husband नहीं सुनता, या मेरे बच्चे नहीं सुनते, और XYZ. But मैं हमेशा यही समझाती हूँ कि if Dilshad can do, Parul can do, I am sure we have n number of women who have challenges, but they still go ahead. So your last message to the viewers, especially the women who are watching, and that's why I've written out there, women entrepreneurs, together we can make a difference, right? Right.
Yes.
So that's very important. So what is your message to the ones who unfortunately really have lots in them, but they sit down thinking that somebody has to hold their hand, or outside world jab tak theek nahi hoga tab tak hum kuch kar nahi sakte jo hum karna chahte hain? What's your message?
So two things, Parul. One, with regards to my work, or with regards to just living in general, is live and let live. Live the way let others live the way you would want to live. You would want to live a free life. You would want to live a unhindered life. So that's the first thing, live and let live. But for those women who are struggling to begin, I would say begin small. It doesn't have to be grand. Not everybody builds a Taj Mahal. Not everybody builds the Eiffel Tower.
Right.
Just start very, very small, and it could be regards anything. So if your passion is conserving water, just start small, make a difference in your house. Probably your neighbors will look at you and probably learn from you. And then your building will look at you and learn from you. And that's how you grow bigger.
Right.
If your passion lies even in something as, you have a person called Berm Rani, right? All she did was took the waste from her kitchen.
Yes.
Gave it, put it in a pot, fed it to the, generated
yes
worms,
and
she recycled her kitchen waste
yes.
into converted it into manure. So start small, start in your home, but start with something that is so close to your heart that you never get bored of doing it, and you wake up every morning and look forward to doing it. So it could be anything. It could be your cause, your passion. It's up to you, and just start small. Just start and start small.
Wow, fantabulous, really amazing. I wish we could have gone on and on and on, but we'll come back again with more and more people, and of course Dilshad too. We are planning to have a panel discussions and have these conversations going on, so that we don't just leave these conversations out here, but we go forward. So as you said, one mantra what Dilshad is saying, just start small. Doesn't matter, whatever is close to your heart. Don't think of big things. How will I do? Whatever. Even if, like, for example, I feel even if you are having this knack of helping others, and if you help one neighbor, one, the person who's working at your house, the gardener, the person who does mopping and cleaning, whatever, sometimes those small steps can be a huge difference in somebody's life. Mind it, my dear friend. So thank you so much, Dilshad. Rather, I'll say salute to you. Thank you so much for coming on the show. And before I wind up, to my viewers, as I keep saying, please, if you like this interview, like, subscribe, and share, because life is all about telling others the real stories, sharing the real stories, and join me in my mission that how each one of us, as we spoke earlier, together we can make a difference, right? So let's come together and make sure that everyone who's listening to it, go and give it to your friends, go and forward it to your relatives. That one girl sitting there, one woman, one man, whoever, one individual sitting there and shifts the mind, you can be the way Dilshad is, the catalyst for a change in someone's life. So thank you, Dilshad, and really enjoyed. And thank you, viewers. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share. We'll be coming back again with lots and lots of these lovely, dynamic, beautiful ladies who are not waiting for any other person to come, but taking charge of their life. Because as I keep saying, you are the driver of your life. So don't forget that, and be alive and do not just survive. So with that, thank you so much. Take care. Bye, Dilshad. Thanks a lot for coming.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Thanks a lot for having me. Thank you.